Good morning. Welcome to the Daddykirbs farm. We are starting the show this morning with kittens. These are kittens that were born here on the farm. And one of our cats, right before, like literally a day before she was scheduled to go get fixed, had a date. And, uh, and we ended up with kittens. So, Kate is considering taking one of these and giving it a forever home. And then we still have a couple more that are looking for homes. But these are the black twins. These are the all black kitty. Ooh, sorry. Sorry.
That claw, be careful.
Yeah, they're. Hey, kitty. Look in the camera. The one that Kate is holding and also this one, they look almost identical. I mean, they're just barely different. My daughter's able to see a little bit of difference. I really can't.
I can see it in there above their ears. The little girl is thinner, the fur is thinner right above her ears.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got a little bit of a rounder face.
Hey, kitty. He doesn't look happy.
You want down?
Put me down.
Are you wanting down too? You're not fighting. Okay, I'm going to put mine down.
Yep, me too.
You want that?
Okay, go run. Go learn how to catch a mouse. There you go.
Yay!
That was a good intro
Morning.
to the show here this morning. The show this morning. Oops, I almost forgot. You are watching the Daddykirbs Live Saturday morning show, 9 a.m. Central. This is just the time that we get together, hang out. I say we because it's Kate and I and a whole bunch of you have a lot of regulars on Saturday. We are growing this community. Many of you are also members of the FANILY community over on Facebook, and it's just it's really fun getting to know all of you, getting to know a little bit of your story and being able to connect with you, because here on the Daddykirbs farm we do believe that everyone has a story and every story counts. If you're watching in replay, thank you very much for taking your time to watch the show. I would love to see your comments in your comments in the comments below. Just join in the chat after the fact. If you're here live, then the live chat often is a real hoot to participate in. I don't get to participate, but I get to read it as it's happening, and also I read it later. So thank you very much for being here. It is a true pleasure being the host, and thank you to Kate and Weetree and Icedane and Ronald and whoever else is moderating. Thank you for helping to keep my show rolling and family friendly. All right, that was a little bit of an intro. I got my, let me turn this around. Our little baby, not baby, he's kind of old now, but our tiny Shih Tzu thinks he's a killer. And he wants... Brownie, be careful over there, bud.
That's a little boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's fun. Fun until the... Oh, you missed the good part.
Oh, they're tangling.
Yeah, I think Brownie's going to go inside with some scratches.
Oops.
Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me. Yeah, the white dog's name is Brownie. When Brownie was born, how long ago was that? 12 years ago, Brownie came out like a chocolate bar. I mean, he was just dark, rich brown. And my daughter was 3 at the time, and she picked, we had, it was a litter of 4 Shih Tzus, and 3 of them were white, just like Mama was, and one of them, Brownie, came out just chocolate brown. And we took, Adeline picked that puppy up the very first day and said, he's mine. 3 years old, this one's mine. So we couldn't, our plan was to rehome all of those puppies because we didn't need the puppies. It was, yeah, it's just one of those things. And so, but once she said, this one's mine. We had to let her keep that
Yeah,
puppy.
how do you argue with that?
You can't
with
argue with
three-year-old?
you can't argue with a 3-year-old girl who says this puppy's mine.
That's true.
So that's how we got to keep Brownie. And it's interesting that over time he's turned almost white. We're going to talk this morning a little bit about some animals on the farm, some of them that we keep and some of them that are coming in the wildlife. So wildlife and also the birds and the chickens and the ducks and the goats and the cats and the horses, all those things. I want to just chat a little bit about each of those, let you know just sort of what's going on around here. The Daddykirbs farm lately has had a lot of very interesting wildlife encounters, and it's been an interesting ride. Excuse me. Yeah, hey Paul, we're not going to talk about the birds and the bees. Not today. That's a different show.
And Xavier's already asking about how the bees are.
All right, we will talk about the bees. Yes. And so, but first, I don't know how much, did I tell about the raccoon? Okay, so we have had raccoons. I think I talked a little bit about, oh, it does work. Hey, squirrel. So Ronald, you just surprised me, not only with a squirrel that is taking me off track, like they all do, but this morning when I logged into the YouTube app, it was telling me that I needed to, like Kate said, I needed to push the lawyer button again for the super chats, and for some reason I figured the super chats wouldn't work today because I couldn't get that form. It told me that when I clicked submit on the form that it failed. I failed. And yeah, so I figured we just wouldn't have super chats today, but I'm getting after those little hiccups.
They're hollering
Espen! Hey, Espen, are you in the show today? I don't even know. I talked to Espen this morning on the phone, and we had some of the wildlife. I have a story for you, but we had something to show him on the, what do you call it? The phone, the video chat, and yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'll tell that story in a minute. So Espen is awake, but I don't know if he's on the show. Is Einstein in the show? Is he here?
Not yet.
No?
Or at least he hasn't signed in. He may be lurking.
All right. Yeah, so the raccoons. Let me finish the raccoon story. We had a family of raccoons that showed up, and they were just eating cat food. And we took the cat food away, and then they started getting into the trash, and we made sure that wasn't. And then they found our chickens. And we lost 4 chickens to raccoons. And at first, I was a little bit, maybe it's not the raccoons. But, yeah, we saw one in the act of eating the head off of one of our hens. And that was the very first time ever in my stay here on the farm that I shot wildlife. I do not like shooting wildlife because I want it just to be wildlife. I want things to live out here. I want everyone to be happy. But after losing 4 hens and catching one in the act, one of those raccoons
Bit the dust.
passed on. And
across the Rainbow Bridge.
Exactly. And I wish it safe travels as it goes across the Rainbow Bridge, but it couldn't stay here any longer. Since then, we've lost no more chickens, although I know there's at least 3 more raccoons out there because I saw 4 at a time. It's very possible that the other 3 just weren't the ones that were attacking the chickens, or maybe they got the hint. I don't know how raccoons think, but
maybe they got scared with the bullets.
Yeah, it was only one shot, and maybe they heard it. The next night we went out, and there was another one circling around one of the coops, and I just shined a light on it, and it ran away, and we haven't seen them since. So I'm really hoping that they decided to move on. Now, in the meantime, also to help with, it's not just about killing the predators, because I don't like doing that, but it's also about adding extra security for the animals. So we've been patching holes. Let me try to make this clear. Over the 8 years, we have only lost one animal to one predator. I mean, except hawks. Hawks and coyotes out in the yard, that's different. But in the coops, I've only lost one bird to a skunk that dug under and got one duck. So that was the only other time. And then now, so with the raccoons, we haven't ever, let me gather my thoughts. We haven't had to be extremely careful about the security of the coops because we just haven't had a problem. That's what I'm trying to say. However, now that the raccoons are here, we haven't had raccoons in 8 years. Now that they're here and they know there's food here, we have to be more careful. So we've been patching holes, blocking up things, adding extra wire, a lot of different security measures to the coops. And in some cases, like the smaller cages, the tractors in the yard, we're taking the smaller animals and putting them inside like a dog cage or something like that inside their coop. So it's like double walled to make sure that they're safe through the night. So every night we're coming out, putting them in, locking them up, and then every morning come out and letting them out so they're not in that small cage all the time.
Does that take care of the rat snakes too?
Well, we haven't had any snakes in those, so maybe. Now, it probably wouldn't prevent the snakes from getting in, but because of the smaller wires, if they did get in and they ate something, they wouldn't be able to get back out. But we haven't had any snakes in those smaller cages, so hopefully that's just not an issue. Snakes are really, really difficult to prevent because they can get in some really small spaces. Take a drink of my tea here. I had a cup of coffee yesterday for the first time.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Weird. And it didn't really bother me, so maybe I'm on the mend and I can start drinking coffee again. I'll just have to take it real slow.
Just 1 cup a day.
I had, it was
Not 3
probably...
pots like I drink.
Yeah, no, not 3 cups. I used to drink...
No, 3 pots.
3
not
pots.
3 cups. 6 of these.
Woo! That's a lot of coffee. This was probably not even one whole 8-ounce cup. It was probably 3/4 of a cup. But it tasted good.
Mm-hmm.
Tasted good. So that is the raccoon story, and that's part of the wildlife story that I wanted to chat with you about. Then I have a couple others. You've seen pictures and videos of the snakes. That's definitely an issue, especially with eating baby chicks, because the snakes will generally only, of course, eat what they know they can eat. They won't attack the big birds because they can't do anything with them. Excuse me. But they will eat chicken eggs, duck eggs, chicken eggs, and also the small birds.
They'll eat ostrich eggs if they can find a way.
Yeah, if they could squash them down, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The black rat snake, it's pretty amazing what they can fit in their mouth. But generally, once a bird is near full grown, they're fairly safe from the snakes. So I'm not worried about the birds unless they're babies. But they do eat a lot of eggs. They eat a lot of eggs because they can.
That one that ate what, 6 out of your silky coop the other day?
Yeah, it was at least 6 eggs, and those had babies in them. Those were going to be hatched, and that was kind of a sad loss because Mama likes her. She loves her silkies, and she loves that one coop in particular is a breeder coop. There's a select few of really beautiful silkies, and she likes to collect and incubate the eggs from that coop. And yeah, they were probably 15 days in, so they were 5 or 6 days away from becoming baby birds.
Wow.
They're gone now.
Well, the only good thing is you can say is you now have a much healthier rat snake.
Oh, he's a... Oh, yeah.
He's a gone rat snake.
He's hopefully...
Didn't you rehome him somewhere?
Well, I put him in the backwoods.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's still in the backwoods. What I'm hoping is that he says, wow, thank you. I didn't know these woods were here. That's probably not happening.
I can hear him now. You and the snake having a little discussion as you let it go.
I do talk to the animals.
Oh, so do I, but I don't usually talk to snakes. Notice I said usually. When I would go visit Daisy, I would talk to her.
Who's Daisy?
The boa constrictor.
Oh, that's right, your boa. I forgot about that. I forget things.
No. It's old age setting in. You're over 25.
I am over 25, that's true. I'm not 25 times 2 yet,
No.
but I'm getting there.
See, I'm old enough to be your mom.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I have lots of friends that are old enough to be my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even my kids.
Even your kids are old enough to be your kids.
And they're my friends.
That's good.
Yeah, it is.
That's good. How many kids?
2.
2, okay.
And David has 2.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'm friends with all 4 of them.
Nice. Nice. What a great family.
Mm-hmm.
Are they all in Texas?
No, only one, and that's my oldest daughter is in Texas. She's in San Antonio, but the rest of them, we've got one in Florida, one in Minnesota, and one in Oregon.
Oh, wow. Spread out.
If we go to visit, it takes a month.
Yeah, you gotta drive all around. Have you done the road trip?
No.
No. That would be fun.
With macaws, you either have to have
yeah.
a specially built RV to do it in, or someone to babysit. And when you've got 3 macaws and one of them is rather aggressive, you don't find babysitters very easily.
Yeah, yeah. It would
Andy can be very aggressive around people he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Which is not me and not David. Everybody else he doesn't know.
Yeah. Beautiful birds.
Thank you.
They do take a bit of...
It's like having 3 3-year-olds in the house all the time.
really loud 3-year-olds.
Yes. Well, have you noticed most 3-year-olds are really loud?
Not that loud. I'm shocked when I hear those birds chanting or whatever they do, screaming.
Woo!
Man, they are really, really loud.
Well, in the jungle where they are native, their call can be heard for 5 miles.
That's amazing.
So have one on either shoulder and have them start screaming. You won't hear anything for a long time.
Yeah, it'd be probably worse than a gunshot next to you.
Well, I don't know if it's worse, but it's certainly equal.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they are loud, noisy birds, but they are such wonderful companion animals. They have great personalities. They have senses of humor, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Vandy, well, the older boys, Karib and Bravo, the 2 blue and golds, have this wonderful thing that they learned when they were in outreach, because David used to take them to nursing homes and places like that and let people get to know big birds. If they are on their own cage, not in an outreach, and someone comes up that they don't know, they will try to see who is going to be dominant in a relationship. If you come up close to their cage, they strike the cage, hit the cage with their beak. It makes it look like they're coming to get you. And if you jump back or flinch or something, then they stand back and go, ha, 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 ha. They really do.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, they are interesting creatures. They really are.
Yeah, to have 3 of them, you've learned a little bit about them.
Well, I've always been a bird person. When I was in my preteen and early teen years, I raised parakeets. And at one point, we lived in a place where my room was a big screened-in porch that had windows. There was like 12 columns in this porch, and every column had a hook and a bird cage, and I was breeding the birds.
Oh, wow.
And
See, Kate's got a lot of interesting stories. When I say everyone has a story and every story counts, what I mean is Kate has 1,000 stories, and they're all fun.
Thank you. When you live as long as I have, you get to have some interesting stories.
Hey, and embrace it so that you can enjoy those stories.
Absolutely. There's nothing like living to be an older person. Even with bad health, and I have had my share of that, I still bless every day I wake up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here with me.
Thank you.
And her bird story helps lead into the next little bit, because I have another wildlife story. I got to show Kate this morning a surprise.
Yes, it was cool.
So last night, every night for the last couple weeks, we come out and do, right before we go to bed, a patrol on the farm, just to make sure everyone's okay. There's no predators. The birds are all locked up. We lock them up earlier in the evening, but we come out to make sure everything's okay right before we go to bed, so it's dark. And we have our flashlights. And last night, right behind the guest house over there.
Somewhere.
Sometimes I don't know where to point. So it looks like I'm pointing in the right direction.
I am not the guest house. It's on the other side of me.
Past Kate, behind the house, is a rain tank. It's a 600, 700 gallon tank that's open. It's like a stock tank, like
An animal water trough.
There you go, an animal water trough, a large galvanized stock tank. And it has water in it because it's been catching water off of this roof right here. And I shined the light in there, and there was something floating, and it was all wet and spread out. And it took me a minute to recognize that it was a young hawk. It's like we identified it this morning as a red-shouldered hawk. And it was obviously stressed out because it had been floating in that water for who knows how long. The water's not cold. It's actually very warm out here, so the water is warm. But clearly stressed out. So I didn't want to grab it because I didn't want it hurting me or itself. So I scooped it into a dog crate, closed the door, and put it overnight so it could have a safe place to dry out, fluff up. And because I was afraid if I just let it go last night in the dark, it would be cold. And I just felt like it was better to give it a safe place to dry out. So this morning I'm going to call the bird rescue that we have around here. It's called Last Chance Forever. And they will take birds that have challenges and rehabilitate them. Sometimes they use them for education if they can't go back to the wild. But I'm going to call them and just make sure that it is cool to open that door and let it go, which is probably what is going to happen, but I just want to make sure that's okay. Give that bird the best chance that it has at a full life, attacking my chickens. But, you know, that's just life. I don't want to feed the raccoon to the hawk. Great idea, but he's already gone.
Not the hawk, the raccoon.
No, the hawk's still here, the raccoon's gone. But yeah, that is a very interesting thing. We've had a few encounters with hawks here on the farm, and there's actually video of the Cooper's hawk that was caught in the coop, which is interesting. I never made that connection. It's a Cooper's hawk caught in the coop. Well, and then we've had plenty of other instances where the hawks have come in and taken birds. We've seen it, and you can't do anything about it. You know, except to not let your birds free range, but I like to let them free range. Anyway, so this one is just kind of fun. It's a red-shouldered hawk, and we'll be taking care of that today. And so that's the 3 wildlife stories that I wanted to share with you this morning. It's been really exciting over the last few weeks to a month. It just seems like this farm is just a place for wildlife.
Ever since the pig came
for nature. Yeah, the pig showed up, and then
all of a sudden everybody
wants to hang out. The pig's sending out messages, I think. Hey, they're feeding me over here.
She made signs and put them all up and down the road. You just can't see them.
They're pig signs.
We need to answer the question about how are the bees and fishes.
Okay. The bees, I went out there 2 days ago. No, wait a minute. What day is this? Saturday? Okay, I've been out there twice since last Saturday, including last Saturday. Pig Latin signs. Ruth. She said pig Latin signs. I've been out the beehives twice since last Saturday. Twice. I'm holding 3 fingers up. Twice. And I got into the hives one of those 2 times. The bees are doing beautifully. They're making a lot of honey. And the other time I went out just to observe the bees coming and going, and everything looks fantastic. I should be able to get out. Today's a really nice day. I don't know. Is it supposed to get to 100 degrees today? Because it feels nice.
No, it's only supposed to go to 97 today.
97? That's a cold front.
No, I'm sorry. 99 today, 97 tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, we can handle 99. So I'll probably be able to get out to the hives today or tomorrow and not make honey, be able to take some of that honey. And so it's going to be I have a little bit of honey that I took off a couple months ago, and I just set it aside because it wasn't enough to process. And that's sitting in boxes in the guest house kitchen over here. And then hopefully tomorrow, I'll be able to take some more honey off. Not all of it, but just some of the full frames, and I'll put some empty frames in and let them continue doing their business. So, yeah, the bees are doing fantastic.
My bees got a new home.
They,
They are growing so well. They're duplicating. We had them in the little half-size nukes, a
Right.
two-story one,
right?
and they built so much brood and so much honey in there that we graduated them up to a double-sided 10-frame box. So
Nice.
we now got 20 frames, and they're going to town.
Nice. Good. There, right now is a pretty good time. There's pollen on the mesquite trees. There's still lots of flowers, sunflowers, fields of the different, the daisies and all those things
The
still out there.
black-eyed Susans
Right,
and all
that's
of
what I
those.
meant. Black-eyed Susans, not daisies. And
And they love my house because I've got all kinds of blooming stuff all over the place.
that's wonderful. Yeah, it's been an interesting June. It got hot early, but then we actually had a little bit of rain, which was weird. So things got to hang on, and things are still blooming. The farm is not completely brown yet. It's still got a little bit of green, so we're doing okay. And I do want to say thank you right now to Wheat Tree Bonsai for putting up the links. The FANILY group link that she's posting, if you are interested in participating in a Facebook group, it's a closed group. You have to request to join. And should you request to join, also pay attention that you answer the 2 questions. Otherwise, we don't let people in who didn't answer the questions. That's our way of filtering out right off the bat people who are interested in participating and those who are not. So please do check that out.
It also keeps robots out.
Keeps robots out. We don't want no robots. It's just a place for people to gather, share their stories, and talk about the types of things that Daddykirbs presents in content. So homesteading, kitchen stuff, just life on the trying to live sort of a homesteading type life. And so also thank you for the link there about winning swag. I do need to have the drawing for everyone on my list. Email list is going to be entered into a drawing for a hat, just like Kate and I are wearing today. All you will have to do is be on that list, so use that link that Wheat Tree Bonsai put up. And then also, should you win, I'll need your mailing address and your preference for a silver or tan hat. Khaki hat, I'm sorry. Let's see. Mine is silver, hers is khaki. There's not a lot of difference, but one's just a little darker than the other.
The darker ones don't show dirt as much.
Yeah, mine shows a lot of dirt. I've had both. I've had khaki and silver, and I mess them all up. All right. So a big thank you to my patrons. My patrons on Patreon support me financially, and they are, with just even sometimes a couple dollars a month. Some of them support with more, and that I'm very grateful for each person who shares with that, because those funds stay separate from our home budget, and they allow me to have the money that I need to stay producing. So whether it be tools on the farm or camera equipment, audio equipment, sometimes like even paying for the computer repairs, things like that. Those are critical and not always easy to take out of the family budget. So the Patreon patrons are supporting in that way, and I thank you very much. Also, I'm just gonna thank you right here in the 30-minute mark of the show. I'm going to go ahead through the sponsors. My patrons are sponsors of the show. Also, Greenstock Gardens, which I'm wearing this shirt again. I like to wear this one every Saturday because I like wearing green, and I like the fact that Greenstock Gardens, it has been a wonderful company to work with. Great friends, good company, and a great product. They're the company that produces the vertical growing system, or the vertical garden, and I think it is just beautifully designed. And so if you purchase that using my link, you can also use my coupon code Daddykirbs, DADDYKIRBS, and you will get up to $10 off. and I will get a small percentage of your purchase to help support the Daddykirbs farm. One last sponsor. They're not really sponsors so much, but I'm an affiliate, so they're helping to sponsor this show, is Simply Clean Foods. This is a new one. I just got this pack in the mail. This is bananas. Would you like to try a banana, Kate?
Yes.
We're gonna open this. This is fresh. We're gonna open it up. Ooh, wow. Can you see that?
They look like real bananas.
They look like bananas. Normally, banana chips are like really dried and crunchy and hard to eat.
And brown.
And brown, yeah. Those are interesting.
Ooh, they have an interesting coating on the outside of them.
So this is a freeze-dried banana from Klimply. Klimply, that's just combining words. Simply Clean Foods. Wow. Mm-hmm. Except for being crunchy, that tastes like a fresh banana.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. You want another one? I want another one.
I haven't finished the one I got.
Wow, that's so good. I'm going to take 2 more. I'm going to put this right here for you when you're ready.
Thank you.
So, Simply Clean Foods. If you use the coupon code Daddykirbs, then you get 10% off. And I will, again, a small portion of that purchase will go to the Daddykirbs farm. These are amazing. That's like candy. It's like banana candy. And they're not super duper hard. They're like, it's a nice texture.
Yeah.
GMO free, no high fructose corn syrup, MSG free, tested free of heavy metals, and up to a 25-year shelf life. Kate has good manners, won't talk with her mouth full. Blake, however, does not. Yes, I am an affiliate of the Simply Clean Foods. And they have a lot to choose from. If you go to Simply Clean Foods, is it .com? I think it's .com. And do shopping, they have a lot of these smaller bags, strawberries, bananas, and different things. But then they also have larger kits like that you can stock your pantry with and have them available like up to 25 years. So it's something that you can use, you can incorporate into your normal cooking and snacking, or just put up and know that it's there just in case, you know, a bad day comes, a storm.
And they have coffee.
They do. They sell coffee too. Simply Clean Foods. It's a
It's a mild blend.
yeah. I was trying to remember. Is it? I want to say Brazilian, but it's not Brazilian coffee. Himalayan. Colombian coffee. And it's a medium roast or mild. I can't remember. I cannot remember much. That's just always true. And but yeah, the coffee looks good. I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna try some of their coffee at some point, but I haven't done that yet. But it's just an interesting company. So between Greenstock Gardens providing a great tool for your garden, and Simply Clean Foods providing something to put into your pantry, a very high quality food that won't go to waste because it will store for a very long time. If you shop from both of those companies, use the coupon code in both places, Daddykirbs. For Greenstock Gardens, you get up to $10 off, and then Simply Clean Foods, you get 10% of your purchase. I'm not even joking.
I had to close them or I'm going to sit here and eat the whole bag.
That is fantastic.
It is. It's really
I think
good.
I could probably eat way too many too. But yeah, thank you for closing that bag. I'm not even going to open the strawberries because we did that on one show. And those are so amazing. That bag of strawberries didn't last very long. In fact,
I don't think it lasted to the end of the show.
it lasted a little past the end of the show because I put some in my cereal.
Ah, okay.
It was very good. So the guy that I'm working with at Simply Clean Foods, he said, "Why don't you show your strawberries?" And I said, "I can't because I ate them all." So anyway, Thank you very much to Greenstock Gardens for being a great company and helping me out with my garden, and also to Simply Clean Foods. And a super big thank you to my patrons. So now we'll move on to other topics. Thank you. All right.
And now a word from your sponsor.
Now, oh yeah, that's what I need is I need my sponsors here with me so they can.
Yeah.
Hey, daughter. In fact, now I'm pretty confident. I can't put words in their mouth, but I'm pretty confident that if the people who work, the family that runs Greenstock Gardens were here, they would love to sit here and do this show because they're just really good people. But also the guy that I'm working with at Simply Clean Foods said that he would be happy to come and sit on my show and talk about different things, not only the foods, but different topics. So maybe someday we can make that happen. All right, I'm excited this morning. I don't even know why I said that, but sometimes I just get excited and I say I get excited. So we're going to talk about seeds now because Kate put those in front of me. And it's really, really cool. You know that we've been working on boxes to ship out, and we are still working on those boxes. I got banana in my teeth. Kate, I've been working on organizing my seeds, but Kate showed me this morning how it really should be done. And she did a really fantastic job. So she has these little packets of seeds, these small Ziploc bags with these clips on top. So each individual bag, well, that breeze feels good. Each individual bag has a card inside that tells what the seeds are and how to plant them, and then
And when to harvest.
and when to harvest. So all the details. And then she put them all together and put these clips on them. So that just gave me a really cool example of how I should be doing mine, because I've actually been not stressing out, but trying to figure out how should I present my seeds for these seed boxes that are going to go out. And hopefully, well, with the Steam It boxes going
Probably on Monday.
Monday, so it's ready to go. So Robert, you're going to get the box, and of course Kate's going to do her Steam It post. You're going to do your Steam It post and send it on, and but then the one for the FANILY group should also go this week sometime, because Kate's seeds are ready and mine are almost ready, and we're going to be sending those on. Shall I talk about what you have here?
Sure, go ahead.
So one of the things here that Kate has is Lincoln peas. Lincoln peas. I don't think I've had Lincoln
They're green
peas.
pea,
It's a green pea.
like English peas.
Okay, so you shell it. Okay. So it's not like a snow pea that you
No.
eat the whole thing. Right.
So,
So Black Russian sunflowers. Very cool. Golden honeydew melons. I like melons.
those are wonderful. I grew them last year and they made some beautiful.
Do you know the horses are out? Okay.
They're going for a walk too.
Heard a little noise behind us, and the horses are out.
Anyway, the melons, I grew them last year at the honeydews and the cantaloupes, and they are very sweet and do very well in the hot weather here.
And that's what I need, is something that does well.
Here comes Kjell.
Hey, Teo. Hopefully they're not heading up to the orchard to step on my trees. All right, so the melons. I get distracted pretty easily, huh? All right, cantaloupes. Another melon. Those are fantastic. I love all melon. And sweet corn. So that's a nice little package. And I would like to do mine just like that, because I think that's beautiful. I'll get a different color card just so we can be color coded. Just because I do that. So yeah, those are cool.
It's because he doesn't want somebody to think they're getting my seeds when they're getting his seeds.
Yeah. Well, your seeds are probably better than my
I
seeds.
don't know about that. I know most of them grow well in South Texas.
That is,
Except the sweet corn. I've not tried that yet.
yeah, I've tried corn a couple of times here, and it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Did you see the horses were out? Okay. Yeah, I just want somebody to keep an eye on them so they're not stepping on my trees up front. Food Forest Permaculture is leaving. Thanks for joining me this morning. So, yes, I lost my thought, and so we have seeds from Kate, seeds from us, and they're going out in the boxes. At least that wind is picking up. At least the one for the FANILY group will be going out. Well, the Steam It box is going out tomorrow or Monday, and the FANILY group box should be leaving this week sometime. And then we have to put together the YouTube boxes. And those are going to be a little harder to manage just because we don't have an easy way to maintain the list. Although this morning Kate and I were talking about, and we think what we're going to do as far as maintaining the list of recipients, because I don't think it would be right for there to be a list of names and addresses in the box. I just don't think everybody would want that. So Kate is going to be managing the a list here, and so there's going to be instructions in the box for each person who receives the box to contact Kate, probably by email. I guess it could be however you prefer to be contacted.
Email's fine. I check it 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah, so email would work really well. And so each recipient of the box will contact Kate, and they will get one address. That way, every person will have the address of the person it's coming from and the address it's going to, and nobody will have the entire list of addresses. I know
Except
that,
me.
Except for Kate. It's probably just fine because I trust that people are good. I really do trust that people are good, but I just think for privacy of the people on the list, it would be better not to do it like that. So.
And I promise I won't sell your names or email addresses.
Yep. You can trust Kate. Granny, TG, Granny. I haven't seen Granny in the house. Welcome to the farm, Granny.
Granny wanted a picture of the horses, but they'd already gone to the orchard by then.
If the horses pass by again, I'll show you. But Teo, our white horse, or gray horse, was in the thumbnail image. There's also a playlist on my channel that is, I think it's called The Horse Experience or something like that. And it's got several videos where you can see all the horses, the 2 horses that we have here on the farm. I saw a comment here. They could fill out a form on the website. That's a good idea. I just have to think about how. Now, we're talking about people getting the boxes, right? We'll just have to figure out the best way to pass that information along. We just got to keep Kate busy. Because you don't do nearly enough.
I know. I need at least 3 or 4 more things a day. Speaking of that, my husband and I are rearranging and organizing our master bedroom.
Yeah?
And we have taken everything out of the room except the mattress we slept on last night. And the bed frames are sitting on the front porch. And I had a friend come by last night and she said, "What's going on? Are y'all moving?"
Yeah.
No, we're just cleaning and rearranging.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Yes. And it is, after all, early in the year. So, I mean, it's after June 15th, so it's not really early in the year,
Yep.
but it's a good time.
Yep. And you might as well do work indoors because a lot of times it's too hot to be outdoors.
Exactly.
Ronald says, how is Luke making out with his mailbox? Luke is enjoying, see, he's not often going down to the mailbox because a lot of times I'm checking it on my way to work or on my way home. But he does enjoy getting those things in the mail. So thank you. For those of you who have been, several of you, 2 or 3 of you have sent Luke multiple things. Like some of you are doing it once a week, and I really, really appreciate that. Luke enjoys seeing the cards, and he doesn't read them, but he likes to hold them and look at them, and he loves to see his name on them. So thank you very much for doing that. Hey, Granny, thank you very much. You say you would love my life. Um, I really appreciate that. I am a very blessed man. I have a very great life. However, most people that talk about, wow, they would love to do what I'm doing, or they would love to have my life, they don't normally consider all the work that it takes to maintain, and there's a lot of struggle and sometimes heartache because of losing animals or losing crops or just dealing with the climate. Yes, I live a very blessed life, but when you consider pursuing a homesteading or anything like that, um, you need to look into the risk, the potential dangers, just the amount of effort and the amount of work that it takes. It's good, but I will tell you that when we lived in a neighborhood, just like everyone else in a suburban neighborhood, we had time to go fishing. We had time to go kayaking and camping and hanging out with people. Now that we live here on the farm, we haven't been kayaking or fishing except for maybe twice in 8 years. So you give up a lot of your recreation to maintain a farm.
But you're outside.
Yeah.
Your recreation is outside
Your
to enjoy the
recreation-
outdoors, and here you get to do it at home.
That's right.
And then you can go back in the air conditioner.
That's right. Yeah, but it is something that everyone needs.
Look who's coming.
There's Teo. Can you bring Teo around behind the camera?
Hello, Kjell.
There's the bad boy, Teo. And here comes Maggie. Maggie's following Teo.
Yeah.
You get
Hi,
Teo.
Maggie.
You get Teo on a rope and take him.
That's
You're gonna
sweet
eat my
girl.
hat, and then Maggie follows.
Yeah. How are you, sweet girl? Yeah, you haven't come to steal our show in quite a while.
You put what?
Some ropes up behind the chicken coops, so they could eat that spot behind the pool deck and stuff. And they pushed
You've been
right
wandering
through it.
around.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's getting kind of pushy with the fences.
Yeah, you've been wandering around getting all sweaty. Yeah.
Yeah, we've learned that Teo is only fooled by the electric tape that's not electrified. Oh, Teo. He was only fooled for a short while. Now he'll push right through them. Unless it is electrified, then he gets that little shock. Whoa, you okay, bud?
He likes to lick.
You gonna lick? I thought he was eating my shirt. Yeah, so if it's not electrified, Teo is not fooled any longer.
Yeah. That's why Maggie's the good child, because she's not fooled by.
She doesn't push and test fences.
She doesn't do stupid stuff.
Oh.
I'm gonna put him away and just leave her out to graze.
Okay.
Are you being friendly, Maggie? Look at this. Look
Yeah,
at this.
she's a good girl.
She was looking over my shoulder.
She's reading your emails.
Actually, what she was doing was changing things on my screen.
Uh-oh.
She was sniffing the keyboard and hit several keys, and now I'm trying to get back to it.
She's learning how to type.
That's it.
And you know what all of that just did for me?
What?
Totally forgot what we were talking about.
Well, that's nothing unusual.
Oh, Tim, I was scrolling through and I just noticed Tim Huffman says that he'll be sharing moringa tree seeds, heirloom tobacco seeds, Everglade tomato seeds, and pepper seeds, and more. That's really cool.
I ask about tobacco seeds. I've often wanted to grow tobacco. Not that I smoke, and that reminds me, Dave has quit smoking.
Yay!
12 days now with no cigarettes.
That is fantastic. I'll have to give him a high five. That's wonderful.
High five, honey.
There's one. She can take it home for you. Ah, I love the smell of tobacco.
Yeah, I like some tobaccos. Cigarette tobacco I don't generally like, but I like some of the pipe tobaccos.
Oh man, oh, that used to smoke a pipe,
My
and
dad did.
I love smelling that pipe. I actually don't mind cigarette smoke. I don't want the smoke in my face, but just smelling the tobacco, I don't mind that. I don't smoke, but
I
just one of
used
those
to
things.
smoke, and I thought when I quit that it was going to really drive me crazy to have people around me that smoke. But I found out I don't even know, didn't even notice it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is cool. How long have you not been smoking?
Uh, 7 years,
Good for you.
and I only smoked 3.5 years. So I
Mm,
didn't succumb when I was a kid. I didn't start smoking until I was an older adult.
yeah. Yep. I have. I haven't. I just don't have a desire for that. I like the smell of things, but I don't. I don't want to put it in my lungs. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Trying to catch up on some chat. Ronald says he likes pipe tobacco smell also. It just smell. It does. It smells really good.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what they put in it. I don't think it's just tobacco. They put flavorings and
Oh
stuff in
yes.
it too.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The goats are trying to decide if they're going to go back in or not.
It's a big chore when the goats and the horses and the pig and everybody gets out. It's a chore getting everybody back where they belong.
Hmm.
So Tim says that tobacco is a great fly paper for the
Oh,
garden.
very good.
So do they actually stick to it? I didn't know that tobacco leaves were sticky. I've never actually touched it. I've seen it hanging in barns, living in the Midwest and coming down through the South. I've seen tobacco hanging in barns, but I've never actually touched it. Uh, if you crush it up and sprinkle the dead tobacco leaves on your garden, it will help deter beetle, grubs, slugs, and snails. Yes, Wheat Tree Bonsai. Yes, yes. Always. Every opportunity I have, I really should say thank you, thank you, thank you to my patrons on Patreon because it takes a special person to, a special gift, I should say. All people are special, but the gift of giving of your resources is special. And not everybody has that. And that's okay because everybody has a different gift. But it's wonderful to have a group of people that help to support the creative efforts on the farm. Yeah, Green Shell, I agree that the cigarettes, they're not pure tobacco. I'm not an expert because I don't smoke. I've never smoked, but I know that there's been a lot of reports about junk being
I know
in
that
the.
they put carpet glue in them
Oh, carpet.
to help them stick.
Well, why not?
Yeah, we like
Carpet
to
glue.
smoke that.
All right. Hey, I have had a great time this morning. I've sort of run out of things to talk about. So it may be done. I'll go through, I'll read some questions. If you have any questions here at the last moment, I will answer those questions. But I will let you know, I wanted to let you know, gosh, I meant to talk about videos too. I didn't write that down. Um, Over the last couple weeks, you may have noticed that I've been trying to get back in the groove, trying to record and edit. And so this week, between live shows, last week and this week, I had 2 videos come out. And that is going to be my goal. May not hit it every week, but I would really love to put out at least 2 productions between live shows. I still want to do the live shows every Saturday, but this year I've done it. I mean, if you look through my list of videos, it's like live on. So it's yeah, Mother of Many Horses, who also produces videos for YouTube, horse related in most cases. Um, it's difficult to put videos out when life gets in the way. And this year, we have had a lot of things just kind of come into our life, mostly centered around caring for Luke. And by the way, I don't think I answered how's Luke.
You haven't yet.
And if you go look at the most recent video of harvesting, collecting tomatoes, working in the garden, can't remember the title of the video. Luke was in that video. You can see that he's doing pretty well. And he really is doing well. Not perfect. You know, we're still working with some of his breathing exercises and... Oh, corn... I didn't do the corn toss. Can you bring the bean bags over here? You're right, I got to do that. I got 5 minutes.
Is it here?
I got to go get the board
board.
set up.
Yeah.
Hey. All right, Kate, it's your turn.
Uh-oh, here I go again. Oh, now things are just blowing away everywhere. He walked off and the wind came up at the same moment. Well, all I can tell you is I've been busy doing food preservation again. I put up another dozen, thank you. Put up another dozen pints of tomato sauce. I did some more potatoes. I did chicken. I did chicken stock and chicken bone broth, all those things. So I've been kind of busy. Don't fail you now. Oh, I'll try not to. But he's back, so I can.
All right. You're right. It wouldn't be a show without tossing the bean bags. And, all right, we're going to start with a star. I got stars and stripes. We'll start with throwing all the stars, and then we'll throw the stripes. I got 4 stars and 4 stripes. All right, this time over my right shoulder. Oh, on the board already.
All right.
Oh, miss. All right, so 3 on the board.
Yay.
3 stars on the board. No stripe.
No stripes. There we
Oh,
go.
almost. Come on, one last one. Totally overshot.
I
Okay.
have a question to answer before we go.
All right. Question for Kate.
Yes. Ruth asked, what's the difference between stock and bone broth? Basically, stock is not cooked as long. You can make stock without having bones in the water as you're making it. It's very good for use in cooking for things like gravies and flavorings and stuff. Bone broth, on the other hand, is cooked a great deal longer. It is generally used only the bones, and what it does is it leaches the collagen and all the good things out of the bone. It's a much healthier than the stock, especially the homemade. And that's what the difference is. It takes a lot more prep time to make the bone broth.
We do ours for 3 days. Is that generally about?
It depends on what I'm doing and how much. Generally, if I'm going to do chicken bone broth, I save all of my chicken bones for like 2 months, and then I have a great big stock pot. It's probably about 24 inches around, and it's about
Wow.
what's that? About 2 feet deep. It's a huge one. It can cover 2 elements on my stove.
Wow.
And I fill that all up and cook it down, and it does 5 to 7 days to do that.
Wow. Okay. So, do you put vinegar in the water?
Yes, yes. The vinegar helps leach the nutrients out of the bones, and you don't taste it once it's cooked. There's no flavor.
Yeah, we usually put I don't know, maybe a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar.
Depends on how.
But we do a smaller pot. We
Yeah.
do just a typical, what is it, a 4-quart?
Dutch oven kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 4 really big stock pots, and I don't have room on my stove for 3 of them at one time. I can get 2, one on either side, but that's the best I can do.
Well, you do a lot of good work.
Thank you.
And to answer a few more of these questions or comments, Green Shell says, on the board should be a sticker. You know what? I've actually considered getting... I'm a graphic designer, for those of you who don't know. And I work with graphics and prints and all kinds of things all the time. And in the company that I work for, which is Dynatouch, if you want to look that up, we do touchscreen information system kiosk. And part of my job is to decorate those kiosks with the vinyl. I thought about making a printed vinyl to go on the top of my cornhole game with the Daddykirbs logo. So, yeah, that might be coming. Of course, it's a little pricey. I don't get that stuff for free. I work with a guy. I've been working with the same printer guy for probably almost 15 years now, and we have a very good relationship as far as, getting things done. But it's not free, so that's going to be, let's see, probably cost me about $50 for a piece of vinyl to put on top of that. But I still think I might want to do that sometime. Xavier, I think I do. If I don't have your address, I will make sure that I do through a private message.
Oh, and Ronald, the reason I did not say that the bones should be roasted is because I usually make bone broth from chickens I've already cooked. So
Yeah.
they've already been roasted or grilled or something.
Yeah, my favorite time to make bone broth. Of course, now we're not eating meat, so we probably won't have bone broth. But usually after Thanksgiving, all the turkey bones become bone broth.
I do that, and I do it with ham bones.
Yeah,
Ham bone broth is very good.
I'm
And
sure.
of course, chicken all year long. I save the chicken bones.
Yep. Yeah, bone broth is actually really tasty.
And for those of you who don't know, when you're cooking, if you peel onions or peel garlic or if you peel carrots and stuff, keep all of those in a bag in your freezer. And then when you get ready to make bone broth, you just put that in there too and let all of that go. And that puts nutrients into the broth and flavors into the broth. But you're going to strain it, so you're not going to eat it.
Yeah,
So it gives you the good stuff. And
onion peels, carrot peels, garlic peels, really any vegetable
any vegetable.
can go in. We've done that too. Yeah, you know what? For a more interesting show, I just need to start let Kate talk. Next week is Kate's show.
Oh my goodness. I'll have to bring over all my canning supplies. Can you imagine coming over here with all of that? What that would be like?
Yeah, you do drive a truck, so
I
there's
do
room.
drive a truck. The back of the truck would be full.
Tim says, I will make you new boards. You don't have to do that, buddy. These are working out just fine. I'll probably just sand the tops of these and put the stickers on top. And or if the stickers don't work, maybe I'll just paint it.
There's an idea.
When I was younger,
Paint
gosh,
it
we're
first.
3 minutes over an hour. I can't go on to too many stories. But just real quick, when I was younger, because I've always been an artist, one of the things is that a few people would hire me to make large signs. I would cut out plywood and hand draw their logos onto the signs and then hand paint them. So that was pretty fun. All right, hey, you know what? We need to wrap this up. I could sit here all day. You guys are wonderful. Chatting with you guys, having Kate here, and just going through some of the things that the FANILY is interested in. I have a great time, and I thank you very much for being here. Another big shout out to my sponsors, my patrons, Greenstock Gardens, and also Simply Clean Foods. Thank you very much for being a great, all of you, great people, great company, and I think that's it. That's a wrap.
You guys take care, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.